Ray, can you hear me? Take your time, man.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah, beautiful. I can hear you clear.
Okay.
How are you doing?
Perfect.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Yeah,
You?
very good, very good. And it's very sunny as well. I think you brought the sun
Yeah,
from.
actually, it's very sunny here as well, and
Yeah.
I think it's too sunny that
Oh, wow.
there is too much light.
Yeah.
So I try to put some
Same.
lights here, and now it's a bit
Ex-
reddish. So I
exactly.
don't know if that's okay,
Yes.
or should I?
No, it's perfectly fine, Ray. No worries at
Yeah,
all.
it's
I have the
okay.
same
Okay.
issue. The I chose an hour, like what is it, 3 o'clock, where the sun is coming straight into my eyeballs as well. It is what it is. But I'm not gonna complain, Ray. We never get sun, so I will not
No.
complain. Give me all the sun you
Yeah.
want. Bring it from Spain, yeah. So is it Ray or Ramon? By the way, how would you like me to call you?
As you prefer. As you
Eh?
prefer. Usually friends call me Ray. Some people call me Ramon.
You know what?
As you prefer. And your name is Panos.
Panos, you
Panos.
got it, you got it. Yeah, you're the
Panos.
first one that gets it completely correct from the first moment. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with Ray because it's easier, it's shorter. Yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
also, before we start with the questions, Ray, I'm curious. Let me guess. You're either from Barcelona or Madrid. Where are you based now?
Actually, in neither of
Oh, really?
of any of those.
I was like, I'm gonna guess
Actually,
it.
at this moment, I'm in my hometown.
Ah, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I'm usually in Barcelona,
Ah, okay.
but
Ah,
I came to my hometown for some days, and at
perfect.
the moment I'm in my hometown at this
Perfect.
moment.
Ah, beautiful, man.
So
Beautiful. So I guess you know what I'm thinking the success you had as an individual developer allowed you to not go after your work, go to another country or a different city. You can stay at the beautiful seaside, if I'm not mistaken, Barcelona, and do all your beautiful work from there. So you're living the dream, Ray. Yeah, is it fair to say that?
well, not really bad, not really bad. But it's actually now here in my hometown,
Yeah,
more in the center of Spain,
yeah,
and yeah, it's a small place
yes.
and it's a beautiful place. It's a very peaceful place.
Oh,
And
nice.
actually, here I got a piece of land with the olive trees and
Oh man,
everything.
that's a
So actually yesterday I was the land with the trees.
man.
And when I come here, when I come
Dude,
once a month, something
yes,
like that,
yes, man.
it's really relaxing.
Ray, I'm jealous
Actually,
already, man. I'm jealous.
and
Yes. I'm jealous already, man. I wish I was there, walking in the olive trees, having a coffee by the sun. Yeah, beautiful, man. I'm really happy you have all of this thing going on for you. And
yeah, it's nice. It's really
yeah,
nice, actually.
Ray, before I start with all the classic questions, the classic podcast questions, this is my first podcast episode, and I wanted to tell you why I picked you, and I think it will set the stage for the people that are listening to us or watching us, to be more
Okay.
precise, they understand who is Ray exactly. And I've been using X a lot, the social app. I mean, not just using it. I'm an addict. I wake up and my hand goes straight away to the phone, and I see a lot of beautiful work from a lot of interesting souls out there doing magical stuff. And some of this stuff,
Absolutely, absolutely. Me
yes,
too.
yes, and some of the stuff was yours. But with you, you stood out. It piqued my interest because you have three qualities, Ray, and I will tell you which they're very rare, especially to find in one person, all three, and also to see them operating at that level. And I will tell you what they are. The first is I noticed that all the work you do is massive scale. So you don't work on a single tool or a single I did I don't know a rendering program and I clear the screen to black, or you go wide. It's insane, and that's incredible. It was amazing when I saw the scope of what you do. And the second
Well,
one is,
probably too much scope. Probably too much
but,
scope.
but you do it. That's amazing thing, man. and, and what I wanted to say, Ray, yeah, also, you'd also expand not just in the scope of the workload, but in the dimension of time. What I mean is, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I say anything wrong during the podcast, you worked on all this for more than a decade, man, which is it's just incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
almost 12 years.
12
Yeah, it's also
years.
incredible for me. It's
Wow,
also
it is,
incredible
it
for
is.
me.
It's amazing. That's the second, but I was like, wow. And the third, if I'm not mistaken, you did all of that, Ray, alone. You started alone. You're on your own. So as if all of these two, there wasn't enough. All this, the first two things, you have that as well, and then
Yeah.
you operate all these things operate at a level which is so high that allows you to manifest this success that you had. I think that's what it might be. Maybe it's more stuff, but this stood out to me. I never met you before. Okay, this is the first time, so I'm telling you what was immediately obvious when I saw your work, and I saw it, and I was like, okay, that's a very interesting human. We need to have a chat. I'm sure it's going to be great. And I'm going to start with Ray. And so my point is, Ray, I think you're awesome. And I'm very happy that you
Thanks.
accepted the invitation to start this little podcast with me. Get
It's
it
a
off the
pleasure.
ground.
Thanks for inviting
Thank
me.
you, man. Thank you. And yes, so I'm going to start with a question. Now, the regular podcast questions. The first one, you already know what it is, but I'm going to ask it anyway because everybody has to come in the same, have to be on the same page.
Are you recording? Imagine
Yeah, already. I'm recording. Yeah. And then we're going to edit it and make it nice and all good.
Okay.
And so the first one is the classic, which is, I know a few things about you. Some people might know a few things about you. Others might not know a whole lot about you. So would you mind telling us some things about yourself, what you studied, what work you did? It could be anything you want. Basically, Ray, your path in life until this very nice sunny day.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well,
Good.
okay. I don't know where I start.
Yeah, maybe education, all the way back.
Yeah. Well, all the way back is I can say that I always loved video games. I'm from a small town, kind in the northeast of Spain, but not near the coast. And it's a small town, but 30 years ago, 40 years ago, actually,
Yeah.
when I was a kid,
Yes.
um, there was barely technology here
Oh,
in my town.
yeah.
Barely any kind of
No
technology.
internet, nothing.
I had a TV at home. At the moment, I remember we only had three channels in the
Oh,
TV. Three
really?
channels.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was.
Uh,
And
no internet at all, I
I'm
guess.
from a yeah.
No internet at all. Dial up or something like that?
No, come on,
Oh,
no.
oh.
I'm from a very modest family. My
Yeah.
father was a carpenter, actually,
Uh-huh.
and here in the same house, in the uh, base floor of the house,
Uh-huh.
it's my father's car.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and well, the point is that I grew up
Yes.
with barely any connection with technology. I
Really?
mean, the most technological thing I had when I was a kid was my Casio watch. Yeah, that's the most technological
Man. That's it.
thing. Yeah, and well, but at some moment in my life when I was a kid, I was visiting some cousins and I discovered video games for the first time. The first video game I saw in my life was
Mind blown.
Arkanoid. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because for me it was like watching at then
Yes.
you could control what was happening
Oh, man.
in the
Yeah.
TV. And
It's
that
awesome.
was completely
It
mind
changed
blowing for
everything.
me. I was a kid. And since that moment, I knew that I wanted to not only do that,
I get
but
it.
to learn how things work,
I get
to
it.
learn how that technology works and how
Yes.
everything worked. Yeah, from that moment, I start asking my parents for a video game console. At the moment, it was the Sega Mega Drive just
Yeah.
came in the market, and I was super fortunate to get one.
Nice.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and since that moment, I was very into video games, and
I
I
see.
started buying the few magazines that came into my town to
I remember
learn
that, the
about new
magazines.
video
Yeah.
games.
Yeah,
But
man.
I could barely buy games at that moment because there was barely any place here in the town to buy games. So
Ah,
I
yes.
usually
Yeah.
got one game a year or two games a year, something like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man. And I'm glad you had that moment of you had a specific moment of that you remembered it, you recalled it now, and that's what happened with
yeah.
me. I was reading Game Pro or Games, a magazine back in the day, and I saw a page about John Carmack. I was like, who is this guy?
Oh,
And that was like, oh, and then engines and everything happens like that. So I really related to what you just said right now. I know the feeling. It's beautiful.
that's it. Well, that's when I decided that I wanted and not only make video games, but to learn how things work in the inside. From
Yes.
that moment, we fast forward,
Yes.
I decided to study electronic engineering. In
Nice.
that, with that engagement to understand how things work
Yes.
inside.
Yes.
Yeah, I studied electronic engineering, and when end up my career,
Yeah.
I decided to. I got the opportunity to. I was in Barcelona by that time
Yeah.
already, and I got the opportunity to enroll in the first master degree in video games development
Wow.
that appeared in the Polytechnic University in
Wow.
Barcelona.
One of the
Because
first.
I
See.
wanted to
See.
study video games. I remember when I was in the high school,
Yes.
going to speak with the person that oriented the students
Yes.
and asking that woman about, hey, I want video games. And she told me, oh, sorry, but you have no way to study to make video games. You have to
Classic
do an
obstacles.
engineering
Yes.
and
Yes. Yes.
engineering route. And it was super frustrating for me because, oh, come on, but I don't want to do electronics. I want to make video games.
Yes.
But anyway, I went for the engineering route, for the electronics route.
Yes.
And when I had that career, I got the opportunity to enroll in the first master
Wow, man.
degree in the Polytechnic
Dude,
University, focus on video games development. And
dude,
that was
respect.
like, oh,
Respect, dude. Especially telling me you started from a place remote from technology and going from there to that. I mean, it's just impressive. The whole thing is impressive. I'm really happy to hear this. And it was the first, huh? Interesting.
yeah, but actually I think it makes sense because
Yeah.
for me, everything was super exciting.
Oh
You
yes.
know, it
Everything is
was
novel.
like, wow, look at that. Wow, what can I do with that? Wow,
Yeah.
it was super exciting all the time.
Yes.
So
I know
yeah,
that
yeah,
feeling.
after having the opportunity to study a master degree, I finished the degree.
Yes.
Uh, I got a job in EA in Electronic Arts in
Yes.
Madrid, and I
Yes.
Madrid for
Uh huh.
several
Uh huh.
years. Actually, there I work at localization as a localization
Ah.
engineer.
Okay. Okay. So you did the Spanish, some Spanish stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, no, actually, it was a localization center for electronic arts worldwide.
Oh.
I
Okay.
mean, the
Okay.
games, the games came from the studios to our studio,
Yes.
and we take care of the not only the translation but the adaptation, the internationalization of the products
Ah. Okay.
to all the markets in the world, all
Wow.
the markets in the
It
world.
sounds quite challenging to get it right.
Actually, I
Yeah.
worked
Sorry. Go
as
on.
an engineer to the first product ever localized to Asian languages from EA.
Wow, man. What can I say,
Okay,
man?
it
Congrats.
was FIFA 2008
Yeah.
Nintendo DS.
I think I played
Can
that.
kind of
FIFA
remember,
2008. I was
and I
playing it
was the
when it was
main
there.
engineer in that
Yeah.
in that pro.
Man,
Well,
impressive.
actually, there I work in that base. I work in pipelines. I work in tooling. I work in many things, and it was a very enrichment experience
Definitely,
for me.
definitely, man. Especially going from, like you said, a small town or a small village, small place to that. It's obvious to you when you speak about that that it was very novel and exciting as heck for you. I can see it in your eyes when you talk.
Absolutely,
It's very obvious, and
absolutely.
that's awesome. That's awesome, Ray. And you know what?
Well, moving a bit fast forward in the future,
Anything you want.
after going into the big company, also
Yeah.
going into some small company, also trying to found
Yes.
my own company and publishing several mobile games
Wow.
that did not work. After some other adventures in my life, I got the opportunity to teach video games development um,
Ah, that's interesting.
to
Tell me more.
students that
Yeah.
were starting. Actually,
Yeah.
I was enrolled in the first. I don't know how you say that, but there are
Yeah.
these kind of courses that are not at the university level, that
Yeah.
are more specialized in practice than in theory. Well, in
More
here,
technical approaches, more
more technical
more
approach.
hands-on. Let's
Yeah.
say. Yeah. Okay. I think
Well,
I know what you mean. Yes.
I don't know the name, the official name for this kind of courses. They are not university, but are like
I
university,
th-
but more technical.
yes. Yes. I think I get it.
Uh,
Yes.
I got the opportunity to start working in the first Spanish official course of that style.
Nice, man. Many firsts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
my
the
God.
first in Spain. The first, I work in the
Yeah.
educational institution
Yeah.
teaching the first time this kind of course
Yes.
that was just officially approved by government here in
Dude.
Spain.
Dude. Yeah. Go on.
And
Sorry. Go on.
yeah, at that time there was barely any materials. I created all the course, I defined the syllabus, I did a lot of
Wow.
work that
Wow.
year. But with the experience I did that first year preparing that was when
Yeah.
I had to teach video games development to art students mostly,
Ah, okay.
with no previous
Uh
experience
huh.
in video games programming.
Yes.
And yeah, at that moment, I tried several tools in the market.
Yes.
I decided to start with C, and I
Yes.
tried, well, I checked SDL and I checked other libraries
Ah,
at
I
the
see. I
moment,
see. Okay. Okay. First contact
but
with
none of
that.
them really worked
Yes.
for me.
Ah, I know where
And
you're
at some
going.
moment, I discovered one library called Borland Graphics Interface.
Yes. Yes. Go
That
on.
it's a library
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
70s or
Yeah.
something like
I know
that.
where you're going
And
with
yeah,
it. Yeah.
and that was the spark to decide to create my own library
Good.
inspired in BGI, in my previous
Man.
knowledge in
Yeah.
XNA,
Yes.
and
Yes.
yeah, and that was the start of RayLib actually.
Man.
So I
Awesome.
decided to create a small library to teach video games development to other students, trying to make it very simple, very enjoyable, um, trying to abstract all the difficult parts
All the
from the
boilerplate
student,
stuff. Yeah.
pointers,
Exactly.
whatever, and
Yes.
keep things very, very simple. And yeah, that was the start of RayLib.
It's beautiful. All of this
And yeah,
experience allow
from
you to have this.
then on,
Sorry. Sorry. Go on. Go on, Ray.
yeah, that was the start, and it's been 12 years.
It's
So
beautiful.
everything has been like
Yeah.
this.
All of this, you were a pioneer in many things. That's what I saw. And all of these experiences allow you to accumulate this knowledge, this view that, oh, I need to, that there is a room for that tool. And now, Ray, I'm going to go to that exactly because it's awesome. And by the way, if at any moment I do this and I look at my phone for a few seconds, I'm not ignoring
Sure.
you. It's just if I get a memory lapse, I just look down to make sure I'm following everything.
Okay, no
Like look the
worries.
questions. So yes, so that's how I got to know you. To know you, there is a lot more story and lore to you apparently, which is amazing. We have a lot to talk about. But RayLib is how I got to know you, and you know RayLib for the people to get an idea. Like it's a project that has 25,000 stars and counting on GitHub, which you have been
Yeah,
working for from then until now, so like 12 years you said, and alone, which is mind-boggling. And that's coming from me, Ray. I'm nothing special like that, but I've been working on an engine like a machine for a decade on GitHub, and I thought I was doing something cool, and it's just 2,000 stars, and then I saw yours, and I was like, wow, that's another level. It's amazing. And my question, Ray, is for somebody who doesn't know anything, what the heck is RayLib, man? Can you tell us a little bit, like, what is it? How would you describe it?
well, RayLib it's a C library uh, intended to make video games,
Mm-hmm.
or intended to put graphics on a screen in a very, very, very simple way.
Yes.
As I said before, it tries to abstract all the complexities of graphics programming,
Yes.
that they are many
Oh,
actually,
tell me
and
about it,
try
man.
to keep it as much simple as possible, especially for people with no coding or with no deep computing and knowledge.
I see. I
Because
see.
usually when you study have previous knowledge on computing or on
Yeah.
programming,
Yeah.
you are already used to lots of concepts, to lots of names, and to lots of things that are easy for you to understand. But some people, when they start trying to put graphics on the screen, they don't have that previous
Yes.
knowledge.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
people can come from an art background or some
Definitely. Yes.
different
Exactly.
background
Yes.
that do not have that kind of law knowledge. And
Mm.
what I notice is that for many people, it's intimidating. It's intimidating to just
Oh, yes.
jump into
Yes.
programming
Yeah. Yeah.
or jump into putting graphics on the screen because
Yes.
there are sometimes it's supposed that you know a lot before starting using some tool or doing something. And
Yes.
that can become intimidating and more when you consider that you have to write code. that you need some editor and you have to start writing code. That's really intimidating.
Yes, I
Actually,
agree.
I lived that in
Likewise.
my
Yes,
own
yes.
when I was a kid long time ago that I want to start
It's
learning
scary. Yeah, it's
programming and I
scary.
went to some private academy and they tried teaching me and I had no idea and it was very frustrating.
Yeah, it's
So
scary.
with
Totally.
that in mind, I decided to create something that
Yes.
I have to say I did not expect it to go beyond a weekend project.
Yeah,
So
we'll ask you about
it's
that, but yeah,
crazy. It's crazy how
super.
it
Yeah,
has grown
yeah,
in the last time.
yes,
I never expect to keep working on that for that long.
yeah,
But the point is that I created something
yes.
trying to make it so simple and easy to use. And yeah, that's really it's actually it's a
Awesome.
set of instructions that make graphics programming or putting graphics on a screen uh, as much easy as possible
Yes,
or
yes. It is impressive. It is
very
impressive.
easy.
Impressive, and it's impressive how big it has gotten. I think it's we're talking about something that's pervasive at the world level. Everybody knows it. That's how I found out about you. And yeah, and also I can only imagine how crazy it must be to start something like you said. Like you don't expect it to go from your idea to that scope. I can only imagine. It's
But
wild. Yeah. Sorry, go on,
one,
Larry.
one point,
Go on. Of
Panos,
course.
is that it did not happen overnight. I mean, I just kept working on the library, and
Yes.
the library itself grew organically a long time.
Uh
I
huh.
mean, until the sixth or seventh year I was working on it, it barely
Really,
grew. I mean, maybe it had 1,000 stars
really, man. You said
on GitHub. It was not that popular. It grew
wow,
organically. At some point, it started getting noticed, and the grew was more exponential.
wow.
But yeah, it was not that.
Well, that's I
It
find
was
this
very
very
organic,
interesting.
the growth.
Yeah.
It was not something that happened overnight.
And you said until the year 6 or 7 you were working on it, and it
Yeah,
still
yeah,
hadn't
something like
exploded.
that.
And can you? I know it's not easy to understand all of these things and how big they get, but have you, looking back to that moment, the 6 or 7 year, can you understand what the heck happened? Did it just come together finally, or what happened? And in that period, it, hit the exponential
Well,
up in the curve.
I I I mm, I don't know exactly,
Yeah.
but I think it was because I got a Google award.
Oh. Oh, do tell us about
Yeah,
that, man.
um, it seemed Google awards are a kind of awards for open source software that are internal from Google. I mean, somebody in Google
Ah.
noticed my project and proposed that project to some kind of internal committee
Ah,
to decide.
okay.
And
Okay.
then they write me a mail telling, hey, we have selected your project. And I said, yeah, sure. And
Nice,
yeah,
man.
and I think that was kind of a spark,
Yeah. It,
the start
the
growing
snowball effect.
of the library. Then I kept working on it, kept working on it. Uh, one After 1 or 2 years, I
Yeah.
applied for an Epic Mega Grant,
Yes.
and I got the Epic Mega Grant.
Wow.
So it also helped. After that, one
Wow. Man.
I got the Google Award again. So
Damn, man. Yeah,
there
yeah.
were some things that happened along the way that,
Impressive things, Ray. Like we're talking
yeah,
about huge
step by
success
step,
after huge success, man.
grew the popularity of the
Yeah.
project.
Google Award, Epic Mega Grant, Google Award again. Dude, you're
Yeah.
killing it. I'm so happy to hear this. Honestly, I'm genuinely happy that you had this growth. It's
It was a
impressive.
surprise, actually. It was a big surprise. It was really unexpected. Well, obviously, the Google Award was unexpected because I could not do anything to apply or anything. But the Epic Mega Grant was also very unexpected
Yes.
because when I saw the announcement of the Epic Mega Grants, I
Yes.
applied for them.
Yes.
And the truth is that I did not expect to got it because I thought it were more focused on Unreal
Huh.
or
Okay.
Unreal related products. But I saw that there was a special section focused on open source projects.
Uh huh.
And yeah, they asked me for feedback and more documentation several times along the process. And took more than a year And after more than a year since they told me that they were giving me the grant. I
Ah,
was,
I
wow, I
see.
cannot believe that.
So after a year,
So it was really unexpected also.
exactly after a year you started losing hope. Maybe I forgot about me. So, and correct me if I'm wrong. The Epic Mega Grant, for the people that don't know, you propose an idea, some sort of plan, some sort of project, and you send it to Epic, the Unreal Engine company, Team Sweden, and all that. And if they think you're a cool person and a cool project and a cool idea, they answer back, and you get a grant, and life gets easier. I hope, and you managed to do it, my dude. Good.
Well,
Fine.
actually, I think you can, if you have a video game project or something
Yeah,
made with Unreal,
yeah.
I think you can ask for a specific amount for the grant.
Ah, you can ask the
But
amount as well.
I did not ask for any amount, and I got $15,000.
Very nice, man. Very
That
nice.
yeah, it was very nice. Well, after
Yeah.
taxes and exchange into
Ah, yeah,
euros
the
and
tax.
everything,
Yeah,
you get
yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, less than that, but it's still actually amount for me that let me keep working on RayLib
Yes.
for full time
Oh,
for
that's awesome, man.
about 6 months, something like that,
Nice. Very
five,
nice.
6 months. So yeah, it was really,
And
it really pushed the project forward.
and it pushed it not only logistically, economically, but also I guess it must have been a huge like
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
huge
yeah.
boost. Like
Also,
Ray,
yeah,
you got it, man. Like you feel like there is validation. You know what I mean? It
yeah,
must
yeah,
have
yeah,
felt
yeah,
good, man.
yeah.
Awesome.
Most of the times,
Yes.
or most of those times, it was not the money,
Yes.
but it was the recognition.
I see. Yeah.
That's
I bet it feels
really
good, man.
fulfilling
Yes, especially after all this
and
hard work.
motivating.
And like you said, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes years and years and years. And finally, somebody in some shape or form recognizes your work. I can only imagine you're like, finally, something is happening. Yeah, I bet, man. And I'm really happy to hear this, honestly, because it's an awesome project. And you seem to be a very cool guy as well. So more power to you.
Thanks.
And I'm gonna go on with the next question. And yeah, I'm gonna skip one actually, and I'm gonna go to another one, which I found very interesting. And this is when you have a big library, say RayLib, or any big project, a community starts to form around it, and something really interesting happens. Ray, I experienced it in a very small scale with Spartan, the Discord server, like 500 people, and that is when a community forms. It's like you have a network of brains, like a hive mind, and suddenly you have all this brain capacity that is focused on your project. And many times, even with a much smaller community of 500 people in my server, they gave me ideas or knowledge that I could never have gotten alone. I knew that. And the project is better, and I'm better because of them. And I was like, Ray, with his bigger, much bigger scale, way bigger community, global, have you have you experienced this phenomenon, this hive mind of humans that gets created, and how has it all this feedback has it helped you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
the first community that
Yes.
gave me gave me all the feedback that shaped the library
Yes.
were my students.
Oh, really?
Were my students. Yeah, I was teaching with RayLib for 6 years, 6 years full
That's
time,
beautiful, man.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I was using RayLib
Yeah.
in my students, and I was getting a lot of feedback.
Dude,
So
that's nice.
most of the shape of RayLib in
Yeah.
terms of API is thanks to the feedback of students.
Wow, man.
So it has this kind of API because it's
Yeah.
modeled with students' questions, students with no
That's
programming
awesome, man. Yeah.
questions.
Yes. It's
Like, hey, why we need that parameter? Why you don't have? Why not you add this kind of functionality?
dude.
Why
Yeah.
these kind of things?
Yes. Yes. I get
So
it.
that helped a lot at the beginning.
Yeah.
After that, when Relief started to becoming so
Yeah.
a bit popular,
Yeah.
I also got a lot of people contributing on GitHub. It's an open source project,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
that's amazing.
You get help.
And I got a lot of people trying to giving ideas,
Yes.
opening issues, fixing things. So yeah,
Very
I
nice.
also get a lot of great.
Yeah.
And for the last few years that I had some
Yes.
bigger communities
Yes.
like Discord, that's almost 14,000 people in
Yes.
there. So it's a
Yeah.
lot of people. Uh, More than direct feedback for the library, I also get direct feedback.
Yes.
I've seen many projects using RayLib, and that's some way it's a lot of people
That's
like,
amazing,
oh,
man.
okay, they are doing that with RayLib, they are doing maybe I'm seeing projects in hey,
Yes.
maybe I should on that line for the project or
I see. I
you
see.
know. So
Yeah.
with the people using Rayleigh, I also got a lot of feedback in the way they use Rayleigh.
Yes. That's awesome. And now everything makes sense. It's beautiful, by the way, how it all comes together in a full circle. You teach people, you give them stuff, and they give you back feedback. It's just beautiful. That's the essence of teaching, in my opinion. It's beautiful to hear that, and it now makes sense why Raylib it has it found an audience because it comes from the source. It comes from actual practical uses. It wasn't like you didn't just sit in a room in isolation and just imagine stuff. It was actually real stuff and
Yeah,
talking with
yeah, yeah.
students. Now it comes together. It makes sense and it's awesome, man. It's impressive. And I was about to ask you a next question, and that would be, I was about to say hive mind, sure, but with your students, did a single individual give you something? But I guess we answered this already, and it's beautiful. They were the initial community that helped you. It's just beautiful, man. And Ray, my friend, I'm gonna
Mhm.
move on to a section more generic, so people
Okay.
you have more lore about you. You are way more than RayLib, and there is tech talk and a bit of dev life. And a little bird told me, and that little bird is called Ryan. The guy Ryan is the cool dude from Ohio that runs the video game club in his
Oh yeah,
university.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and I talked as well with him. You talked as well, I think, and he liked you
Yeah,
very.
yeah, yeah. It was a great talk also,
Yes,
yeah.
he liked you very much, and he was like, dude, he was so awesome, down to earth, nice to talk. We finished the call, and after we talked for even 1 more hour, and he was like, but I
Wow.
forgot, I forgot one thing to ask him, and I was like, what is it, man? Tell me, I'm gonna ask him, and he was like, he worked for Electronic Arts, EA, which you told me before, and it's all the localization and all this stuff, and I was wondering as well, uh, from the localization, you said from games, you worked on FIFA. Any other games? Any names you can give us so Ryan is satisfied?
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I work on FIFA, Harry Potter, several games in the series.
Yes.
I work in The Simpsons, the video game.
Yes.
I work in The Sims, the Wii, my Sims for
Oh
Wii.
man.
I work in all the sports saga from PC to
Wow.
Nintendo DS. I work on Dante's Inferno.
Really? Wow, man. That's
Um,
a lot of. I was expecting a game or two, but you have like a.
yeah, no, actually, I'm credited in about considering platforms and everything, maybe in about 30 titles or something like that.
Wow, man. And for how long have you been with them, working on this amazing
I
stuff?
was 3 years uh,
Wow. That's an
working
amazing.
there.
Oh
Yeah,
man, 13 titles in 3 years. You're a machine, Ray.
but you have to keep in mind that
Yes. Tell me.
uh, mostly every game developed by all the studios around the world from
Yes.
EA
Yes.
went through us.
I
So
see. It was
it
a
was
nice.
very, very, very stressful actually because
Yeah.
the game usually in the last phase of the game,
Yes.
starting from alpha or beta of the game,
Yes.
they came to us and we had to work in the final stage of the game at the same time than to be allowed to publish the game adapted to all the countries in the
Oh
world
man.
at the same time. And that's really, really complicated.
Yes.
And we were getting new games almost every month, something
Wow.
like that.
Wow.
Yeah, well, every month, every like, new games. Sometimes as an engineer, I was working in 3 games at the same time.
Dude, that's a lot
Yeah,
of
three
stuff.
games for multiple platforms.
Yeah.
So
Man.
yeah, it was
It can be stressful, but amazing
it
turnaround on a
was
lot of
stressful,
games.
but also it was
Rewarding.
it's super rewarding. I
Yes.
mean, I learned so much.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
bet,
in
man.
just 3 years, I
Yes.
learned so much about processes, pipelines,
Yes.
tooling,
Yes.
different code base, different ways to organize projects.
Yes.
Wow, I was seeing new titles almost every week.
Dude,
Every week,
amazing.
well,
Yeah.
okay, we got this new title. Okay, let's check the code base, let's check the pipelines, let's check everything, let's set up everything in our site to make it possible to do the localization.
Yes. They
So
they threw
it
you.
was super rewarding for me. It was amazing.
I bet they threw you into the deep. A lot of games, a lot of different stuff to do. It can be a little bit tiring, I guess, but you see, they turn you into a commando, I think, really fast. And that
Yeah,
help for
yeah,
later,
yeah.
I'm
That's
sure.
it.
Yeah, yeah. It's good
It
stuff,
was
man.
like a crash course of learning
Yeah,
on
they just
video
throw you in the
games.
sea, swim on your own. Yeah, but you
See,
did it.
it was also great because we were not focused purely on programming or on art or
Yes,
on design for the
yes,
games. We were not focused on the game making itself,
yes.
but we were very focused on the pipelines, the processes,
Right.
how to integrate things in the game,
Mm-hmm.
how to integrate the translations, how to transform
Yes,
file
yes,
formats.
yes.
So it was a great experience.
Yes, it was. It seems like it had a a big scope, and a lot of stuff. It was amazing. It turned you into what it contributed into what you became. It seems like Ray, you had a path that you did a lot of great. Everything came into place perfectly, like positioned for RayLib to exist. I think it's just beautiful to hear.
Well,
And
actually,
yeah, tell
I
me.
just in some way
Yeah.
I always just let me go in a way that opportunities keep coming,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
just
You go with the flow, my
I'm
friend.
not a person that thinks a lot in the.
I'm the same.
I
You go
don't
with the
think a
flow.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just go with the flow.
Yes.
It's oh,
Yes.
okay. Now I'm doing that. Okay, let's continue with that. Oh, I got that opportunity. Why not? Let's take that opportunity. So I just keep going
I
in that
totally get
way
it. You're completely right.
without thinking a lot or too much in the future. Oh, where I will be in 5 years, where I will be in 10 years. Okay, I want that. I want that. No, I prefer to just
That's it, man.
get
I agree
one
completely.
opportunity and it's okay. Let's try that. Let's
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
how it goes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
That's
that's it.
it.
Because you know why? If you work like that, that means you follow your heart, your soul more, and that's very important because then you have passion,
Ag-
and passion
agree.
nobody can beat, my friend. Passion is the key, and you know that already. I'm sure that's why you do it. That's why you have the confidence
Yeah,
to
I
follow go with the flow.
completely agree with that.
Yes, I can see it.
Actually, for me,
Yes,
uh,
tell me.
I need to be very passionate about what I do. For me, it's super important.
Same.
But
Otherwise, sorry, go on, Ray. Sorry, I thought you
yeah,
finished. Yeah.
but I also uh, I'm able to be compassionate about many things.
Yes, I know.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not the kind of person to say, "Oh no, I don't. I have to do that. I don't like that." It's well, I don't like
Yes.
that, but
Yes.
let's see. Let's try.
Yes.
Maybe I can find something interesting, and at the end, I got passionate about that.
Yes.
So
I can
yeah,
feel it, right? I can see it in your eyes. I have this emotion as well, and so I know exactly. But you can try to describe it with words, but I know exactly what you feel. I feel it as well, and I think whenever I follow this mentality, it almost always led me to great places. You know what I mean. It always works out somehow. When you
yeah,
learn something, you
absolutely.
do something, there is always something to gain if you follow your heart like that. And life isn't life more exciting, man, when you do that instead of following the script, like leaving Neo in the Matrix. No, forget about that. Do what you do. You wake up, you're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna try that, I'm gonna go for RayLib. Life is awesome, man, if you think this way. And I'm glad you do. And I try to do the same.
Absolutely.
Yes, you get it, right? You make me very happy, and you make me feel less lonely and less crazy that somebody else thinks this way. I'm glad to hear this, my friend. And another question. I have this question for me as well. I haven't answered it yet to myself, and I think other people will be interested. And this is, my friend, you have this ability to work on all these projects, on all these great ideas, and manifest all these beautiful realities. But you're still human. Do you ever get tired or burned out? And if that happens, how do you recover? How do you experience this reality, Ray? It never happened. So, yeah, how do you deal with, working for so long on all these projects? You're only human. Do you get burned out? And how do you deal with this, man?
Well, uh,
Yeah.
I try my best. Panos. I mean, the truth is yeah, you're right. You
Yeah.
are not motivated all the time, and
Yes.
you are not so happy all the time.
Yes.
And depending on what you do, it's not funny all the time,
Yes.
and it's not
Yes.
that great all the time.
Definitely.
Um, also, for example, sustainability. Sustainability is also a concern for me because
Mm.
RayLib is not making enough money. My tools are not money. I
Yes.
have to
Yes.
do contract work, side contract work
Ah,
to
yeah.
get enough money for everything. So yeah, it's not everything so easy and
Yeah, of
fun.
course.
Okay,
Everything. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
how I do? Well, I try to focus on things that
Yes.
keep me entertained. That's the point. Keep me motivated.
Yes. I understand that.
Really, during the first 8 years of development,
Yes.
it was super motivating for me to keep adding new platforms. Maybe I
Yes.
saw a Raspberry Pi, I saw web, I saw Android. Those new platforms were kind of a challenge for me. So
Yes.
it was motivating for me to add those new platforms.
Yes.
Sometimes I add tools that kind of motivating to add new features.
Yes.
Um, Sometimes working on some specific things at some point, around 2018
Yes.
or 2019,
Yes.
RayLib started becoming less motivating because I
Uh-huh.
had to fix
Okay.
tools, I had review PRs,
Yes.
I had to do a lot of
Ah,
that. It's not
I understand what you're
that
saying. The
great,
nature
actually.
changed.
And
Yeah.
at that point, I
So,
decided to focus myself development.
uh-huh.
And actually, for the last 6, 7 years, I think every tool I develop is a new adventure. And usually,
Yes.
I choose tools that keep
Yes.
me very
You
motivated
like them.
because
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
are very interesting to me. Okay, let's
Uh-huh.
explore texture packaging.
I
Let's
see.
explore steganography and
Yes.
rest of packaging. Let's explore fields all
Yes.
related to games development
Yes.
that are engaging for me. And
Yes. I see. I see.
what I did was, okay, let's keep really its way.
Yes.
It's kind of stable that and stay this way or keep growing at a slower pace.
Yes.
And I are building other libraries, other tools
Yes.
around Rails because at the same time that I'm building those libraries and those tools,
Yes.
it's kind of a feedback loop
I
that I
see.
also keep improving Rails and I in a more direct way. I
Yes.
keep working in Rails.
Yes.
So what I do is it's exactly that. I try to look for the different paths that keep me
Motivated and
motivated.
happy. Yeah, I totally
Yeah,
get it. And
that's it.
that's a secret, I guess, huh?
Yeah, and actually, they are not all the libraries that I created are free open source.
Yes.
But for example, the tools, not all of them are free, neither open source.
Yes.
So I sell those tools.
I
There
see.
are
I see.
several tools that I
Yeah.
publish and sell. I also like that business point,
Yes.
that,
Yes.
okay, you have to put
Yes.
that into the market. Let's try to sell those tools. Let's see how the users respond to those tools. I have to I have to, that tool, for example, is selling well, so let's improve that tool, try to sell more.
I
So
see. I see.
kind of game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's also nice. So I try to find ways to stay motivated with what I do. And one thing that is really overall motivating
Yes.
is that ownership feeling over what I do.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I
I
bet, man.
mean,
I bet. I can feel
I'm
that.
doing something
Yes.
that I created, that I can manage,
Oh, yeah.
that
Yeah.
I'm putting in the market.
It's all
I'm
yours.
trying to grow.
Yes. It's your baby. It's your
I think
baby.
that's also very
Yeah.
very fulfilling.
Of course, of course. And you know what I see? What we mentioned before. You said going with the flow and follow. And that, I see that again. So your coping
Yeah,
mechanism, not getting burned out, is just go with the flow. You do, you said what you like, what you're genuinely interested. And I guess that comes back to the sustainability that you said. It keeps things sustainable. That's what allows you to work for extended periods of times on so many things. It's so simple and beautiful at the same time. And you see how there is value in sometimes, yeah, planning things, but also just listening to yourself, following your heart a little bit and your passions. You see how it actually works out. I wish many people understood this in bigger companies. Like the way you talk, you're very correct. And I wish many it was a common perception in more corporate environments. But anyway, that's another conversation, my friend. Huge for another time. Also, another question. It's not here, but I got curious. You mentioned that you also do some contract work on the side, and I'm curious if even in the contract work, you go for basically the same, very similar stuff. You know, kind of instead of doing it for you, you do it for somebody else, but it's pretty much the same. What kind of job did you choose? If you want to talk about it, of course.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I I've done in the last few years
Yes.
has been just I'm usually
Yeah.
hired for 3, 4 months,
Yes.
6 months
Yes.
to teach some subject.
Hmm.
And
Nice.
yeah, well, actually, uh, con- I've been teaching Unity actually,
Nice. Nice. Yeah. Good.
but even in that case, I
Yes.
try to introduce some in some of the lessons. Yeah,
Nice.
and
Yeah.
actually it was also very nice. Unity it's an engine that I would
Yes.
so has an I, that it's amazing with a documentation that it's amazing.
Yes.
Uh, and last time I was teaching Unity, it was 2000, like 10, 11 years
When was
ago
it
that I
again,
was
Ray?
teaching
You got
Unity,
cut off. When was it? 2000?
14 or
I see. So about 10
2015,
years
something like
ago.
that.
I see. I see, my friend.
It was like 10, 11 years ago that I was teaching Unity.
Yes.
And since then, I had not taught Unity again.
Yes.
And it was a great opportunity for me to review Unity 6
Yes.
and review the new features, the new things. And usually, when I jump into new technologies or into new tools,
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person who likes to explore how things have changed, everything that can, all the
Yes.
options
Yes.
available.
See all the
Yeah,
cool
I'm
things.
the kind of person that can any software and
Yes.
spend hours just checking the menus,
Ah, you
checking
love it.
the
Yeah.
read,
Yeah.
checking the about, so checking the libraries, going there of the installation folder and checking files in
Oh yeah.
there and else. I'm this kind of
I,
and
I,
and
yeah. Sorry. Go.
yeah
Go,
and
Ray. Yeah.
yeah just with this time that I had to teach Unity,
Yes.
I actually was project from another teacher
Yes.
and I was really reviewing what was I was learning.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was
It's
learning
okay.
and yeah, it was a great experience for me. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy
Nice.
it. And also,
Yes.
when you learn other technologies, you always get some ideas for your
Oh yeah. Yeah.
technologies.
Your mind is always running.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, look at Unity. They are doing this thing this
Yeah.
way. Oh,
That's a nice
maybe
way. Yeah.
I can do. Actually, I got a library that is called RayLib
Yes.
that it's a UI library to create tools. And actually, it's a library that I use to create all the interfaces for my tools.
Oh, nice. That's like
Yeah,
very.
it's very quick.
It's a self-feeding loop.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that library
Yeah.
actually was originated thanks to in 2014
I see.
in library from Unity. I
Uh-huh.
saw the Unity library from Unity. So, oh, that's interesting. I can do that in C.
I
They
see.
created my key library that I'm still maintaining today,
I see.
uh,
Man. Yeah.
more than 10 years after that. So,
I see.
yeah.
Man, that's cool. That's cool, man.
So just going back to the question,
Anything you want.
I usually enjoy the contract work because
Yes.
uh, one point is that I like learning.
Yes.
I like
Yes.
learning
Yes.
technology. I enjoy learning technology.
Me too. I'm an
So
addict.
I think that's good because every time that you jump to a project, it's or you have to do something technology related, it's okay. It's a good learning experience. So
Yes.
you can
Yes.
always get something good back from
Definitely. That's
it.
the mindset, man. Yes.
So
You get it,
Yeah,
bro.
that's it.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. Everything you say, I genuinely agree. That's my outlook in life. Yeah. It's awesome, man. And let me go to the next. It's a question that's it's polarizing lately,
Okay.
especially on X, and that's AI. Some people love it, others absolutely hate it. I mention it, and they want to find where I live. So, Ray, my friend, what do you think about AI, and do you think it will affect game development and us and RayLib and anything in the future? What's your view about it? You can be honest. It's
Well,
fine.
as you say, that's a difficult question,
It
actually.
is. It is
That's a
very
difficult
open as
question.
well. Yes.
But
Do you think there is value
I
in it?
think that
Yeah. Sorry.
AI is here to stay.
Yes.
And I think it's kind of a revolution
Yes.
at many levels. I don't know yet to what point or to what extent,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it will be a revolution. Uh, I specific, I tried AI several times.
Yes.
I tried trying when I'm developing the tool. Sometimes solve some specific problems. I
Yes.
have to say that for my thesis, it did not work
Yes.
because they were when I asked AI, it was at a moment that I had a really serious programming problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry. Yeah.
and I think that
It
uh,
felt. It's felt. Yeah.
AI could be very good to solve
Yeah.
kind of standard programming
Yes.
problems
Yeah. Exactly.
that most programmers don't need it to solve that kind of
Exactly. That's the
problems.
key. It's simple.
But when you have difficult problems, it's not that good.
Yes.
That
Yes.
good. But still, it gave me some idea, ways to go, or things to try,
Like
or
brainstorming. Like
different things
yeah. Yeah.
to
You know.
explore.
Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know what to say.
No, it's fine. It's
I
getting
don't
you.
know.
Yeah.
I think that at the moment it's still not fully integrated in workflows.
Yes.
I
Hundred
mean,
percent.
people
Yes.
don't know how to integrate it, or companies don't know yet how to properly integrate it
100%.
in professional
Yes.
workflow.
Yes. Yeah.
But maybe in a future that will change.
Yes.
And then the concern is if that happens, how change the way developers develop software, for example,
Yeah.
or how companies develop
Exactly. It can
whatever they
be.
develop. I think that we will see changes in the future. Maybe
Yes.
not that deep changes as many people could expect,
Yes. Yes.
but definitely AI is here to stay, and
Yes.
one way or another, it's going to be integrated in workflows, I
I
think.
agree. I agree. It's here to stay, and it's also. I know it's a difficult question because it's impossible to predict the future. I know. I agree.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I don't. The only thing I don't like about it is sometimes it might not know anything about what you asked it, and it sounds so confident, and it can troll you. It can take you down a path for half an hour. Yeah, yeah, dude. I know. That's it. I will show
Yeah,
you.
okay.
It takes you down a
Yeah,
rabbit
okay.
hole.
In that regard, one thing that
Yeah.
I'm sure about that
Yeah.
is that in any case,
Yes.
independently if you use or not use AI,
Yes.
you have to understand what you're doing. You have to understand the results it's
That's
giving
key.
to you. That's
That's key.
absolutely true. You have to understand.
Exactly.
I mean, you cannot expect to just ask for something and
That's
implement
it,
it
Ray.
and get it working because there
Yes.
are many side cases, there are many situations, there are many concerns
Exactly, my friend.
when you write code that AI is not aware of that.
Precisely.
AI is just giving you kind of a improve Google in some way.
Exactly. Exactly. It's exactly how I see it.
So
As
you
a
have to
yeah.
validate the results. That's absolutely, you have to validate what you get.
I think that's key. You touched a very key point, Ray. And I think there is value in it, but I think many people forget about this. They might trust it too much. They have to remember it's limited. But if you remember it's limited and you treat it as an unpaid intern or a librarian, then it can
I
be
can I can
add
I
anything you
can
want.
give you
Yes,
an example.
of
It's a
course.
technical example. It's
Anything
like
you
a
want.
technical
Anything you
example.
want.
I don't know if you have seen recently. I tweet about I'm creating a tool that it's a texture packet. Okay,
with the
and
packing. I saw that. Yeah, yeah.
the
Yeah, yeah,
packing
yeah,
tool.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, in that packing tool,
Yes.
when you select multiple sprites,
Yeah.
um, you can remove those sprites from the list from the package.
Aha.
Let's say.
Okay, okay.
Okay, you got
Yeah.
a list. The,
Yes.
the point is,
Yeah.
you got well, sorry,
No, it's fine. Do your thing.
sorry.
Yeah, do your
It's a
thing.
bit technical, but anyway, I got that option that when you select multiple sprites, you
Yes.
can slice. You can slice those sprites into separate sprites.
Got it. Okay.
So one sprite can become, let's say, three sprites, four sprites,
Got it.
right?
Yes, yes.
So I got a list with all the sprites.
Yes.
And then I got an array of selected in the index,
Right?
an array of selected index with the sprites selected,
Yes.
that
Yes.
when you hit the button, you got through the list
Got
to,
it.
to slice the ones that you need to
Okay,
slice.
I have the image in my
Okay,
mind. I follow you. Yep.
I was doing that problem and I got stuck into that problem. And I
Aha.
decided to ask AI
Yeah.
because it was actually it's an easy problem, but it's not an easy problem. It's a difficult problem.
Okay. And small parenthesis, Ray. Sorry to interrupt you. Which AI did you ask in that case? Was it GPT, Grok,
Well, ChatGPT, the
ChatGPT?
free
Okay,
version.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I asked, and the AI was not able to give me an answer.
Yes.
Not able to give me that in any case.
Yes.
I tried asking, and it was not.
Yes.
Why? Because the AI was not able to understand
Yeah.
that if you are adding, removing
Yes.
sprites from the list based on the index
Yes.
of selected ones,
Yes.
every time you are invalidating the index.
Right. I see. Okay.
Because you are adding and removing elements in the list.
And then, yeah.
So the index get invalidated.
Yes.
And you as a human, you know that.
Yes.
But the AI,
You cannot catch that.
I found that the AI was not able to
Yeah.
have that
It's
reasoning
too much.
to
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
point in
Yeah.
any case. So it was great all the time. The answer,
Completely ignoring that.
but
Yes.
none of the answers was valid because
Yes.
the
Yes.
index were invalidated. Every time
Yes.
that you add or remove some element in the middle of the list,
Yes.
the index were completely invalidated.
Exactly.
And more considering the index are not ordered.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. And yeah, I agree with you. And that's the
So
thing.
that
Oh,
was, for
sorry. Go on.
example, an example
Yes.
that I noticed. Okay, I understand that AI cannot help me in that
Yes.
because it cannot understand the problems generated
There is a
in the
limit. There is
process.
a ceiling. Yes, yes, definitely. There is a ceiling, perceptional ceiling. But it's nice that you
Yeah.
observe it as well, because that's what I do. I observe it. I don't immediately judge it. I observe it and I'm like, it lacks there, it lacks there. I'm not gonna walk down these paths again. And I try to go to the path where it's strong, like memory, like recall of information and stuff like that. But yeah, I agree with you. I've experienced the same.
Well, it was one example, but I got several. I got several
Ah,
examples
yeah,
in that line with things that I've been doing. I had to modify sources for a managed table,
yes,
and AI was not able to manage with the padding
yes,
properly with byte padding
yes.
at byte level was not able to give me good answers.
It
So
was getting lost.
the, the,
Yes,
the, the, the few times that I tried to use it for hard problems that
yes,
I found,
yeah.
it did not work, and I had to just bite the bullet
Do it.
and end
Use
up solving the problems my way. That's
use the
it.
good old biological, the meat computer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
By the way, that's more of a joke question. When you talk to the AI, how do you refer to it? Personally, I forget myself and I call it bro or hey dude. But it's completely anthropomorphizing, you know. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm like, hey dude. And it answers back. It's like, hey brother, I'll help you out.
Yeah, well, what happens to me is that I'm always very, very polite. I was very polite. In that sense, it's like, please, could you help me with that issue? I'm not saying
Yeah.
your answer. It's, come on.
I do the same, man. I don't know why. It's. Well, I think we just
I'm just
anthropomorphize.
used. I'm just used.
Well, the good thing is, if ever Skynet or AI goes rogue, then when Ray was polite to me, I'll let him go. And Panos, they can go free pass. So
Actually,
yes,
I think it's evolving. and I really would love to see
Yes.
a true AGI,
Oh
a
man.
true general
Yes.
artificial intelligence, in the sense
Oh
that
yeah.
I'm afraid is perfection. We are still far from that,
I think so. I'm not
in
an
my
expert.
perception.
I'm not an expert, Ray, but I agree with you because they say that the transformer approach apparently has a plateau. So it's only gonna at some point it's a sigmoid, it's not exponential. At some point it's gonna kind of level out.
It's a pure statistical system at the
Exactly,
moment.
exactly, exactly. And so I'm thinking if they find other ways to develop to approach intelligence, whatever they
Yeah,
want to call it.
yeah, I think so. I know that you mentioned before John
Yeah.
Carmack. I know that John Carmack is at the moment
His AI now.
working.
Uh huh.
Yeah. It's in AI,
Uh huh.
and I think, well, maybe that guy
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
find some way to twist the
Maybe.
way.
Maybe he gives us Doom and then he gives us AGI and it's not
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
Yeah. Hey,
yeah. Who knows?
I have a question. I've been contemplating it. It's a more philosophical. We cannot prove anything, I guess, but it's a philosophical thing I've been thinking about at night, and I get existential worries. And I'm like,
Okay.
do you know the technological singularity as a term? The fact that you have an
Yeah,
AI, for the people that don't know, you have an AI and it has the ability to rewrite itself, improve itself. So it improves itself and then it reboots, let's say. And the new version, it's therefore smarter and better able to improve itself, and so on and so forth. And then you get a godlike entity. Some people think it's a myth, others contemplate it. I worry about it at night. What do you think about it? Do you think it's just, silly things, or might be something there? Maybe in the future something happens. What do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
it's too stretched. I know it's a philosophical
Uh,
question.
okay. From
Yeah.
a engineer point of view, or from a
Yes.
technological point of view,
Yes.
that I really like sci-fi movies, and I really like the future, and I really love technology, and I really love how technology evolves.
Yes.
For me, it would be fascinating to see something like that happening.
Wow. Yeah.
But I think it would be
Scary. What?
probably like in the films, like in Terminator or something like that. I think
Exactly.
the chances to be like that are very, very, very high, actually.
That's the thing.
So I don't know, but
Yeah. It's scary.
the
It's a
truth
scary
is
idea.
that the other day that you are talking about that kind of
Yes.
philosophical
Yeah. Yeah.
questions,
Of course. Of course.
I
Go.
was thinking about myself, that
Yes.
I'm here in my hometown,
Yes.
and I was thinking like myself when I was a kid in the
Yes.
streets, in the town, and everything,
Yes.
and seeing it how things have changed in like 40 years.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's
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 crazy.
like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Super fast. Yeah.
It's really, really
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
So knows, maybe in another 20, 40 years, 50 years, 100 years, that it's not so far away in time,
Yes. Yes.
uh, we can see
It's
incredible things.
exactly. Exactly. I gave up trying
But I don't
to.
know. Because I was at my age, I was expecting to be traveling to the moon.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
The future is
you
it's
can
it's a
be, I
slippery
in my
slope
hometown, in my room.
to predict. Yeah, yeah, the future is difficult to predict. I get you. But I agree with you that we're going to experience amazing things. I don't know what they might be, but I'm already impressed with everything we got so far since I was a kid until now. I cannot believe how fast things move and how we progress. And Ray, I have a last question
Yeah.
for you. And so basically, the question is actually two.
Okay.
But we're almost done, no worries. What if you could travel back in time? You have the time machine right now. It was in next to you in that room, and you could get in there after the call and go and visit the young Ray that was starting. Could you give him any advice? What would you tell him? And that might be also young kids listening now. What would you tell to young Ray to be even more efficient, if that's possible, even more? I don't know. Is there anything you could share
Uh,
with him? Life,
uh,
how to deal with situations, relationships, coding.
I,
It
I,
could be
I,
anything,
I,
Ray. Anything you want. It doesn't have to be coding.
yeah, probably. if I was able to go back time.
Yes.
The point is that when you go back in time,
Yes.
uh,
What's troubling you, Ray?
you cannot change much. Well,
Ah,
here
you mean you can mess up the
we enter
timeline?
in many paradoxic
I see where you're going.
elements.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are able to travel back in time
Yeah.
and you try, I mean, you cannot change much because you need to be able to travel back in time in the future. So not much can change
Actually,
to
you're
make
right.
that possible. So, but
I didn't
but
think
if
about
I
it at all.
okay, let's try to get a more
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
simple answer.
Yes.
I would just tell myself that
Yes.
keep it doing what you are doing.
I think that's a fair.
I
That's a
mean,
good response.
keep just doing what I'm doing. I mean, uh, I'm really happy where I am at the
That's awesome,
moment.
man.
I'm
That's
really
awesome.
happy with what I've done. I mean,
Yes.
obviously there are many things in your life, probably always that you want to
Of
change or you
course.
want
Of
to
course. It's human
in
nature.
many aspects.
Yes. Yes. Of
But
course.
I feel so fortunate in many ways
Yes.
as at the point I'm I am at the moment.
You're very content with where
So
you are and who you are. I can see it in your eyes. Yeah. It's good.
it's 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 okay. Probably one thing that I would have done
Ah, tell me.
would be, but it would not have been possible. I mean, one thing that I always keep in my mind
Yeah.
is that RayLib is made in C
Uh huh.
with a technology from 1992 that it's OpenGL.
Oh yes. Okay.
I mean, anybody has been able to create had been able to create RayLib in 1993, 1994, let's say
Uh huh. That's interesting.
1998 or
Yeah.
even 2000.
Huh. Huh.
But nobody had created anything like RayLib before that time, or
I
like
see.
like the RayLib I created.
Yeah, yeah. So the technology
So
is there. It was there. What you're saying, it was there. You even
yeah,
started
yeah. I
earlier.
mean, why
Yeah,
nobody created a library that simple or in that way
yeah, yeah.
to because not being me. I mean, for me as a kid would have been amazing to learn video games programming sooner that I learned. I
Yes,
mean, I spent a big part of my life,
yes,
like 10 years or so,
yes.
learning all I had to learn to be able to create RayLib.
I see. Yeah, yeah. It all
I
came together.
mean,
Yeah.
if I had RayLib 10 years before, maybe at the moment that I created Relate, I would be able to create another amazing thing,
Yes,
more
yes.
amazing than
That's
Rayleigh.
who knows what.
So
Yeah, exactly. Many probabilities. Many branching
yeah,
realities
but
out
well,
there.
that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
came at the
But
end.
I think that was an awesome answer to a very open and complex question. And that's the
Yeah,
truly.
for
Yeah. Sorry, go on,
just
Ray.
one
Of
one
course.
point,
Yeah.
one shout out
Yes.
for Sean Hardwick, that I think he's one of the engineers working on
Oh,
XNA library.
I
No,
use it a
XNA.
lot in university. I love
Yeah,
XNA.
it was a very
C
big
sharp.
influence for me and a very big influence for Rayleigh. But
Nice.
also, he was the creator of a library called Allegro
Ah, I know Allegro as well.
from the 90s
I remember a guy called
that
Mike Geig that did tutorials. I was watching this. You remember Mike Geig? Man, I watch the same stuff now.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry, go on.
that guy created Allegro and then moved to Microsoft
Ah,
and was working in the team that created XNA.
man.
And both frameworks are
Yeah.
are were very inspiring in some way for Rayleigh.
So, did
So
you talk with this guy? Are you friends? What's or you
no,
just
no,
focus on?
I never talked
Uh-huh,
with that
uh-huh.
guy.
But your
I
work,
just followed.
his work.
He has a blog. He has a blog with amazing posts
Yes.
that I think most of them have already disappeared, probably. Yeah, and there was I created a company a long time ago that I published a couple of games
Yep.
made with XNA
Yes.
for Seven.
Yes. That's awesome, man.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and I do it. That
Legend.
guy, Sean Hargraves.
All right, man. That's awesome. You've
Yeah,
been, man.
he was a very big influence and inspiration to
That's awesome,
me
man.
for years
That's awesome.
later
Yeah.
on creating Raven.
That's awesome, Ray. You
Yeah,
this I'm just anyway. And
But
anything
you are
so
always inspired by someone. I mean, you are always inspired. I mean, I told you that I knew a Spartan engine,
yes, yes.
and I also knew a Wicked engine and
Ah, yes,
Sim,
exactly, exactly,
Godot. I mean, I follow a lot
exactly.
of people,
Yes,
including yourself, that you create things, and that's always very inspiring.
exactly,
That's always
exactly,
very
exactly,
inspiring.
Ray.
That
Yes,
okay, look at that guy. Oh, look at that person.
yes,
He's creating amazing things.
exactly,
Uh,
exactly. And I get the
and you
motivation
get
as well.
a lot
Sorry.
of feedback all the time in that sense.
Yes, exactly, and that's the beautiful thing of today. We blame socials and X and all, but there is beauty in it if you look for it. And I find this
Yeah,
beauty in the people, all of these creative individuals. You, Wicked engines, who know how many other people are out there that I haven't even seen yet. But there is a lot of beautiful people out there doing manifesting beautiful things into reality that get you insanely motivated, and you feel less lonely and crazy when you see they're similar to you as well. When you talk to them.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I totally get you. And I have this last question, Ray, and
Okay.
it's very open as well. What's next for RayLib or you personally? Do you see? Is there anything in the future? I know you said you don't plan a lot, but say in the next 2 years, is there
Uh,
anything slowly appearing in the near future, or we go with the flow, my friend?
uh,
We go with the flow, don't we?
actually, not really. No, I
Yeah.
just keep working. At the moment, I just want to is well update and publish some new tool
Yes.
that I got in the backlog that
Uh
I
huh.
want to update. The text packer I expect to publish probably pick up some moment,
Yes.
and resource packer. I got several tools that are, and uh, there are several tools that I'm updating and I want to publish updates.
I see.
Also, there are a couple of tools that here that I have not published yet.
Uh huh.
I would like to publish
Uh
along
huh.
this year.
Uh huh.
But in the meantime, I keep updating and I keep working,
I see. I see,
improving,
my friend. I
well,
see. Yeah.
reviewing the issues and reviewing the PRs in Rayleigh.
Yes.
But actually, I'm open
I see. I
to
see.
opportunities or to
You go with
anything
the flow. Yes, that's the way, man. I do the
could
same. I do
appear.
the same.
So let's see.
Yeah.
Actually, it's an adventure,
Exactly.
so every day.
Exactly. Life is more interesting this way. What we said, life is more interesting when you have this
Yeah,
mentality.
yeah,
Let's go with the flow,
absolutely.
and have crazy goals, massive goals. So it's always exciting. Will I make it? There is suspense. Will I make it or will I fail? And that was the last question, Ray. And I want to say, I really enjoyed talking with you. You are an awesome
Thank you
guy.
very much.
Your work is
Yeah, me
very
too. Me
inspiring to
too.
me. And you know what?
Thank you.
I wish you from the bottom of my heart the very best. But also, I think you don't
Thank
need
you.
any wishes. I think this might be just the beginning for you. I think the ceiling is only how hard you're willing to work. And I see there is a lot more in you. I can see a spark in your eyes. And Ray,
Let's see.
we might even talk again. But you do more stuff, and we might catch
Yeah,
up
sure,
again
whenever,
because
Panos.
it's an awesome
Yeah, it
chat,
was a
man.
pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you too, man. Take care, Ray.
Okay, thank
Take care,
you.
man.